Hi. So rather than go through my haul at the end of this video and do what I usually do where I sit down and chat to you at the end, I thought I'd do a quick one in the middle just to go through the items I bought today. So obviously I've eaten the Third Circle Bakery items already. They were incredible. I've saved a little bit of the lemon cake for later, but if you're in Melbourne, highly recommend checking them out. I'm going to go through some items from the store Oddities Cabinet now, and these were a very generous gift, so thank you so much, Oddities Cabinet. I'm so excited to open them up, so let's see what we've got in here. So first up is this print. As you can see, her illustrations are so lovely. I love this ghost, and even the tape on the back is just so cute. There's also two frames in here, so I'm going to open these up now. A bit of a hint there. I think I know what these are because I was looking at them last time. Look at this portrait. So handsome. And then this is obviously going to be the bride. Look how good they look together. Thank you so much again to Oddities Cabinet for these beautiful prints. These will be going on my gallery wall. And this is their card, if you would like to check them out, and their details are here. She also had a really cool Dracula print, which I've shown in this video, and I've already said for the next market I'm going back to get it. Some items from a store who I absolutely love. They're called Devil's Bath Parlor. I don't use any other soaps or body oils except for theirs. And I've got quite a collection of their items, which you've probably seen before in my other videos, because I love the scent of everything that they make. So first up, I've got this incense. I really love their incense, and I'm really into dragon's blood. She's got quite a few incenses, but this is my favorite, and you'll see why. Not just because it smells amazing, but I love that they're red. A little detail that I think is really cool. Also got one of her soaps. This is the Catacomb soap, and it's got a blend of frankincense, myrrh, with hints of lemon. Myrrh, I don't even know if I'm saying that right. Myrrh and frankincense are other scents that I really love in things, and I just find that all of her soaps are just really good quality, and they just smell so amazing. Like even just leaving them in the bathroom after I have a shower, everything just smells so good. And I've tried so many of their soaps. I don't think I've had this one for a while, so rather than buy my usual scent, which is called Lilith, I decided to try this one today. So this is their business card, which is beautiful, and you can find them through these details or on Instagram. So a big shout out to Di of Devil's Bath Parlor for always keeping my home smelling so good. And the last item I got is some bath salts. This from Apothecarium, which is the store that had the beautiful glass jars and also that amazing Vampire Hunter kit, which if I had the money to spare, I would have bought today because that is a dream item on my list. So if that is there in the future, I would love to buy it. I ended up getting some bath salts today, the Celine bath salts, which are for use in the new moon, but I'm probably going to use it as soon as possible. I don't know when the new moon is. There were quite a few of them and it was hard to choose, but something about the moon drew me to this one. And I love the packaging. Some of them did have that wax seal on the top, which I'm such a sucker for. But this is just so nice and it smells amazing. And I'm looking forward to having a hot bath soon. So that pretty much sums up my mini haul from today. I had a really nice time at this market. I love going to these events. And it was just really fun to see some friends and yeah, support some local businesses. I'm probably just going to spend the rest of today relaxing and enjoying this beautiful cold weather. And to be honest, probably the same thing tomorrow for Sunday. I do have the movie premiere Monday evening, which you'll see soon. So I'm back and I'm going to talk about some books. I wanted to show you something first though, and this book is a bit of a hint. It's a bit cold today, which I'm loving. This week has been really cold, so I've got just a jacket thrown over me right now and it's hiding under here. This is my new tattoo, which I got recently. If you follow me on Instagram or TikTok, or you saw my previous video where I talked about these books, you'll know that I am a huge Vampire Hunter fan, and I'm also a really big fan of the artwork in those books by Yoshitaka Amano, and this is one of the books that I own of his work. So I got this tattoo about 2 weeks ago now, and it's pretty much healed. The healing process was really good, and I'm just really happy with how this turned out. I love every single detail on this. I feel like it's so me because it's a character that I love, but also a vintage frame, and I collect a lot of those, so it just seemed like something really perfect. And this was done by a local artist named Eve, who I'll link in the description if you'd like to check out her work. Please do, because her artwork is so amazing and she really went above and beyond with this tattoo. I knew I was going to love it, but seeing it and seeing all of the beautiful fine details and the lines was just so incredible, and yeah, I love it so much and I'm really happy with it. I'll show you some of this book though while we're talking about Yoshitaka Amano and Vampire Hunter D. I've had this book for a really long time, like over 10 years, because I got into Vampire Hunter D when I was in high school, and I've had this for so long. Unfortunately though, the slip is now destroyed, and that happened because when I painted my bookcase, which was originally a light wood, I did it last summer, and I was just very impatient and I wanted to get all my books in, and the paint had obviously not really dried yet, so this stuck to it and got ruined, but that's okay. The book is still in perfect condition and the other side is all right. I'll show you a little look inside this book. I've looked up this book now and it seems to be pretty expensive. I don't know if it's in print anymore, but when I bought it, I think I only paid like $30 for it. I got it off Book Depository. Rest in peace, Book Depository. I used to love that website, and the illustrations in here are just so beautiful. Like, there's a lot of color as well. The portrait I've got is actually in here. There it is. So this is what the original artwork of my tattoo looks like. And let's just have a look now. Eve just did such a great job on my tattoo. Like all those little lines, earring, and the armor details. Funnily enough though, a few of my friends and actually my partner who are not familiar with Vampire Hunter D thought that my tattoo was of a woman. I guess because D does have very long hair and he's very beautiful, so that's fine. If you're a fan of Yoshitaka Amano or Vampire Hunter D, I highly recommend checking out this book. I also had a really good time at the Monkey premiere. I went into that movie completely blind. I knew it was a Stephen King adaptation, and I am a Stephen King fan. More recent one, I read Pet Sematary last year. I haven't read any of the big ones yet, like It or The Shining, but they are on my list. But yeah, the movie was just really funny. It was very gory, and I love that they made us sign that waiver. I actually kept it as a little souvenir, so thank you so much to Roadshow for inviting me along to the premiere. So I'm going to get into some books now that I've been reading. To be honest, it has been quite a slow few weeks for me since returning home from my trip. Just been really busy going back to work and doing a lot of editing, but I have finished reading The Hacienda by Isabel Cañas. I finished reading that last week, and I actually listened to the audiobook a bit with this one. I used to be quite snobby with audiobooks and kind of felt like they weren't for me. However, in the last year or so, I've gotten into them, and I used to find it really hard to multitask while listening to them, which is why I never got into them, but I'm really liking them now to listen to when I'm working. I find that I can actually concentrate on both things most of the time, and it really helps me to get through a book if I'm struggling with it, or I'm just too busy to actually sit down and read it. So kind of went between the audiobook and this. Overall, I really liked this book. I gave it 4 stars, so it's the second best book I've read so far this year. The first being Perfume, the Story of a Murderer. I would have given this a 5, but I think the ending kind of dragged on for me a bit, and I find that happens a lot with me with books these days, where I'll be really into it for maybe 75 to 80% of the book, but then I find the ending a bit disappointing. However, it was a really good read. Again, I really love gothic books with a house that has a dark history or is haunted. That's one of my favorite aspects, so I really enjoyed that about this book. A lot of people have compared it to Mexican Gothic by Sylvia Moreno Garcia, and I would say there are some similarities. Personally, I prefer The Hacienda. I read Mexican Gothic a few years ago and I didn't like it that much. I thought it was okay, but in terms of comparison, I think this book is a lot better. I like the protagonist a lot more. I found the main character of Mexican Gothic to be a little bit annoying at times, whereas the main character in this book I quite liked a lot, and I found her to be a bit more relatable. So if you're a fan of Mexican Gothic, you may enjoy this one. I am now still reading My Darling Dreadful Thing, which is our book this month in my Patreon book club. I am not very far in, just because I've been so busy, but I'm hoping that this weekend I can sit down and read it a bit more. So far I've read about 25% and I'm really liking it. It has a very spooky vibe. There's some spirits involved. I've never read anything by Joanna Van Veen before. However, I really like her writing also. also. So I'm really interested to see how this goes, and I'm excited to get into it a bit more soon. Over the past few months, I've been reading a lot of multiple books at once. However, again, because I'm busy right now, I don't want to do that, just because if I start reading something that I like more than what I'm currently reading, I will never finish this one. So I'm going to wait until I finish My Darling Dreadful Thing, and then I'll start something else. I don't really know what I'm going to read next. I have some books in mind. I always have a physical TBR at home, and I have one on an app as well. A few people have asked me if I use Goodreads. I'm not using Goodreads anymore. My account is still there, but it's not active. I'm using an app called Literal or Literal Club, which I'll also link below. So I update that pretty regularly. I am also very much a impulse mood reader. So even though I have an idea of what I'd like to read next, once I finish this book, I will just decide on the spot what I'm going to read next. And we'll, of course, soon also be voting for what we're going to read in March for my Patreon book club. I can't believe it's going to be March next week. It's pretty crazy how fast this year is going. In terms of other things that I've got coming up, I'm spending a lot more time in the city, which you're seeing in my vlogs. I used to not really like going into the city just because I used to work there, but there's a lot of new things opening up, so I'm interested to go check some things out, check out some new bookstores, and take you along with me. I also have my birthday coming up next week, and my tattoo was my early birthday present, so I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do for that day either. I don't really do big celebrations anymore. I find the older I get, as cliche as it is, I become less excited. I would like to do a bit of thrifting maybe, and I did talk about doing some thrifting vlogs. Obviously I haven't done some really big ones yet because I am kind of saving this year, but I would like to do something with that soon. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed this vlog. As I mentioned, I will be doing these every 2 weeks from now on, so watch out for the next one. And as always, a big thank you to my Patreon members for supporting me and reading with me every month. I'll see you next time. Bye.